What a powerful movie. I mean, let's just get right into it because you're a guy who's done a lot of like action movies, big power, big special effects, and this is soft. This is deep. And I want to know what your reaction was when you got this and you decided, well, this is important.
It did feel very important. And the size of a movie doesn't really count, I don't think. But this one, I realised how important it was. That it was a true story, that it was such a special true story, that it was a very significant shift in civil rights in this country, and such just in its own right, just a beautiful love story.
I want to talk about the idea of how you got this role. So just to refresh, 12 Years a Slave, that was going to be a breakout role for you, and then it gets cut. And at that moment, you're thinking, were you thinking like, I'm giving up, or was it like, no, I got to keep going?
Well, I knew this was going to be huge. I was like, it's going to smash it at the Oscars next year. And I was like, oh. No, but I was happy for it. I think the thing is that film was more important than me. You know, so you can't really, and also you can't take these things personally because they're not. As luck would have it, the casting director of 12 Years a Slave was also casting Jeff's film, Francine Maisler, who's fantastic, so brilliant. And she mentioned my name to Sarah Green, the producer, and Jeff Nichols, the director. And I got invited. I got sent some sides, which is pages from the script, and asked to come in. And so I just sort of threw myself into Nancy Bursky's documentary.
You had to be very subtle in this piece.
Which is not my strong suit.
It is not. You are not a subtle guy. I mean, you like action. I mean, you're into fighting. Are you a boxer?
No, I mean, it all depends on what the movie is. Like for this, Richard was a brick mason, so I went to bricklaying school, just because there's certain things you can't fake on screen, and particularly there was a lot of bricklaying moments and all that stuff. So yeah, we got involved in that. I mean, the subtlety of Richard is really kind of evident in the documentary, which is why Ruth and I had the opportunity to create these two characters as close as we possibly could to the real them.
I've had 15 years of experience, so I think you come to know yourself. You know, and you come to trust that the interior will sort of bubble through to the exterior. And you learn to turn the volume up and turn the volume down.
Our final question, and this is something I think why this movie, Loving, is so important. Can you talk a little bit about why this movie is so important in today's times?
I think that we need a lifeline. We need a lifeline because I think we're all, there's so much anger and tumult, isn't there? And I feel people are withdrawing from one another. I do. And I think that's the wrong way to go. And I think this film shows us that the only way forward is to open, have compassion and kindness and empathy for one another. Because otherwise, we're just going to retreat back to some dark age of madness.
That's why Loving is so important to see.